Hello everyone, Jeff and Jay here with another edition of Jay's Big Adventure. Jay's the fuzzy guy, and today we screwed up. I talk about this on my channel. I talk about how to buy and sell motorcycles and make money. That's kind of my whole mantra here. And I screwed up. Started with, I paid off the white BMW. My 2012 K1600GT and I have been together since April 15th in 2016, when I bought it in Houston, Texas. We've put over 60,000 miles on it. You can watch all the videos pertaining to that bike. And I finally paid it off. Here's where it kind of goes sideways. I've been looking for a second bike. We sold the R80/7. That was a fabulous bike. I do love the airheads, and I thought, now that I've got that payment out of the way, maybe I'll look to see what else is out there. I would love to do another series. I'd love to have an R90 or R100. And so I thought I'd just go out and take a look around. You can tell where this is headed. So I looked on a bunch of sites, looked at a bunch of bikes. There are a lot of nice motorcycles out there to own, but that's not what we do here. I wanted to find something that I could flip and make some money on. The R80 was perfect. It had some cosmetic issues. It did not run. It was really cheap, and that's what I was looking for. I'm open to pretty much anything. It could be a Japanese bike. It could be, something European. But that's kind of what I was on the hunt for. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and nothing really struck me. Nothing that fit all the parameters. It needed to be something that I could make money on. It needed to be something that I hopefully have worked on before, so that I have a better idea of what it needs. But I was open-minded. Didn't find anything that was interesting. So then I thought, you know what? I know the 2017 and up K1600GTs have a couple of major upgrades. First of all, reverse. It's a 700-pound motorcycle. I live in the mountains. If you park the bike nose down against a curb, it's really tough. I've actually had to ask bystanders to help give me a push to get me back out of my parking space because I wasn't paying attention when I parked. Reverse gear fixes that. Loaded, two up with, on a trip, reverse is really nice. Once you have it, I've heard people say it's impossible to go back. The other big thing that I was looking for was the Shift Assist Pro. I don't use the clutch much when I'm just riding around, but the harder you ride, the nicer that feature is. When you're upshifting, you don't use the clutch, it cuts the ignition, you can leave the throttle open. It's really, really slick. If you have not ridden a bike with that feature, do so. On BMWs, they also have the Shift Assist for downshifts. When you go to downshift, as soon as you apply a little bit of pressure on the shift lever, it signals the ECU, it blips the throttle, and rev matches on the way down automatically. It's really slick. And the harder you're riding, the bigger an advantage that is, not only in smoothness, but also in terms of power delivery. I think it's really cool. I wanted to have a bike with it. If I'm going to upgrade from my 2012, I wanted to go far enough up the food chain that I could get those two features. The downside is there are aftermarket solutions for the Shift Assist issue. Downshifts, I don't care about. I can do that manually. For the upshifts, you put in a micro switch and then it cuts power to the ignition just momentarily when you're shifting up. And those are about $350. So then it came down to, do I really want to spend $10,000 over what my current bike is worth to get reverse and to get this Shift Assist that I can do kind of halfway for $300-400? So I've been looked for bikes that are 2015, 2016, really low miles that you can buy in the mid-teens. And so I looked for one of those. Couldn't find what I wanted. Wasn't the right color, had too many miles, way too close to what I have on mine, etc. Here's where I made my next mistake. I thought, let's just go see what these bikes are selling for new. And so I configured my perfect bike, and with the Shift Assist and the reverse gear, the bike comes out to $28,590. But no navigation. That's another $949. Now, with navigation, you can actually get, I believe it's a Garmin, that physically fits into the stock, the BMW connection point, mounts up. The difference is you cannot control it with the Wonder Wheel. You have to reach out and hit the button on the screen, which is not a huge deal, but I thought, I'm spending this kind of money on a motorcycle. Do I really want to save a couple $100 and then have a GPS that loses some functionality? No. So that's another 949 bucks. So now we're over 30 grand, way over 30 grand by the time we end up paying sales tax and everything else, 31.5. That's now double what a 2015, 2016 is going for. It's getting pretty pricey, getting pretty hard to justify. But I thought I'll just go, now that I know what the list price is, I'm going to go digging. Looked all around the country, and in California, I found a dealer with a 2020. The 2021s apparently aren't here yet. And it was a demo. Now with BMW, once you put a bike into demo service, you get $3,000 back from BMW towards the purchase price of the bike. They also extend the warranty 6 months. This bike had 200 miles on it. Had all the options that I wanted, and it was a demo that had only been ridden a couple of times. $3,000. If you finance through BMW Financial, they step up and they add another $1,600. So I'm $4,600 off. The dealers in California, we're in the middle of a snowstorm out west. I can't go pick the bike up and ride it back because I have to go over Donner Pass. Maybe you've heard of that. I don't want to repeat that program. So the dealership said they would ship it to me free through Haul Bikes. That's 600 bucks. Here's where it got crazy. I was talking to a salesperson. We were going back and forth, and I said I was looking at buying an extended warranty because I had one on my K1600GT. I had $6,500 worth of repairs on that bike. That cost me 300 bucks. With this K1600GT, my 2012, I got lucky. I did the ball joints myself, which was a huge amount of work. Look at that video. There's a couple of them. Did the front wheel bearing. These things are expensive, and at 65,000 miles, I'm looking at having to replace the shocks. There are transmission issues, and the new bikes apparently are not as reliable as the older ones. There's a recall in the transmission from 2017 to 19. They had to stop sale on those bikes until the transmissions could be upgraded because apparently it would try to engage 2 gears at once, which is typically bad. The other thing is, I've heard several people say that they've had reverse gear issues. In addition to that, we have the coil packs that die. There's 6 of those. And all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? I did get lucky with this bike. Maybe I should look into an extended warranty. These guys sold me, a 7-year unlimited mileage warranty, that's the key, for under $2 grand. So I bought it. I bought the bike. It looks just like this. It's going to be here next week, and I am absolutely stoked. I can't believe that I've actually got this bike. It is the bike of my dreams. It really, truly is. I've got 7 years and unlimited miles for the warranty. That's factory, fender to fender, bumper to bumper in the car world. And now we're going to have 2 identical bikes. And here's what's going to be fun. I've got a whole series of videos that I want to do. One, everybody has said the 17s and up, they've killed the throttle response. The EU Series 5 or Level 5 emissions have strangled the bikes. They're not as fun. The throttle response is awful. I've had a lot of people say, if you have an older bike, hang on to it. So I think I will. But so I've got that I want to look at. I've modified the exhaust on my bike. I punched the holes in the upper and lower chambers. But I haven't had a stock bike to put next to it to see what the difference in sound is. So I've got that. I'm going to be adding lights. I'm going to be adding my radar detector. I've got a whole bunch of fun stuff that I need to do to the new bike to get it up to the level of the old bike. And you guys get to come along for the ride. The other really big series that I want to do, or video that I want to do, is I want to do another update on dark siding. I now have 2 BMW K1600GTs, one on a motorcycle tire, one on a car tire, and I can ride them back to back. I've adapted to the car tire over the last 20,000 miles. I know there are times when I can feel it, especially on a road that's heavily crowned. It just kind of walks down the hill. But it's a very, very slight difference, and I've adapted to how that bike rides. I have not ridden another K1600GT besides the one that I own. So all this fun stuff. We're going to look at all the differences in equipment. We're going to look at the few styling changes. The new bike has a much bigger, much brighter, much nicer navigation screen. It's the new Nav 6 versus the Nav 4 that I have. There's all kinds of stuff coming. So hopefully the bike will be here later on this week or first part of next week. We'll do an unboxing video and hopefully catch the guy when he arrives, do a video of the bike, do a walk around, and then we are off to the races. So stay tuned. We got a lot of video content coming. Please watch, please like, please subscribe, and we'll have more videos out soon.